What's going on, guys? Gemma here and back again for a car boot retro game hunt, the first of the season for me, and I would like to say it's going to be the first of many. I'm going to try and get to a car boot every single week whilst the sun is shining. We got Molly right there, my little puppy. She is 5 months old and she is doing fine, and we're going to dive straight into it. In the top left hand corner we got the bargain-ometer. Beautiful piece of technology here at the TheGebs24 HQ, and all this is going to sound is how many things I pick up, essentially. I'll dish out more stuff over on my Instagram feed at TheGebs24, so be sure to chuck a follow over there and let me know what car boot goodies you have picked up this season so far. You may recognize this. I went to this about 3 years ago. Yes, gamers, it has been that long since I have been to a car boot. This is the Twin Oaks car boot just off junction 29 on the M1, and I'm going to try and go to a different car boot next Saturday morning, but this is a great car boot. Now, plenty of things to show you guys. I get a really good look round. We got toys, comics, predominantly games with some retro inspired GBA consoles. That's right, we have the Zelda, I think the Mario and the Donkey Kong, which is coming up, but I think they were a little bit overpriced. So sit back, enjoy, and pay attention, gamers. You don't want to miss anything. So I asked in the intro title, do we find some bargains or do we find some prices that are absolutely astronomical? I think we find a bit of both. Now, I clocked these. Unfortunately, they're a complete rip-off. I did like the look of them, but they were just completely fake, so I just kind of walked away. Some really nice Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures varying across the different kind of seasons, or rather years. I'm an 80s girl. I was born in the 80s, so I do remember the original TMNT cartoon. Very, very fond of that. In fact, often kind of watch a couple of seasons on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I think I have a couple of them on DVD as well. Now, this stall probably had a fine selection of games, retro games. There were some also PS4 games which we're going to take a look at, and this is where I show you guys the GBA consoles, priced at 35 quid each, unboxed with the chargers. A little bit more than what I wanted to pay at a car boot, but I did go back later on and I did offer kind of PayPal to pay the full price, but unfortunately the people didn't have PayPal, so I didn't have enough cash on me at the end. So I just kind of unfortunately didn't pick them up, but I have quite a few Game Boy Advance SPs, so I'm not massively concerned that I didn't get them. I would have liked to have got them for a little bit cheaper, but let me know if you think £35 was a bargain, gamers. As you guys can see in the top left, I haven't picked anything up yet, but I wanted to just scout this store out completely because it's important to me that you guys get a full idea of what's going on here at Twin Oaks, because like I said, it's a really good car boot with a lot of variety. Some of the vendors were asking crazy prices, absolutely astronomical prices, and at the end of the video I actually picked up quite a few PlayStation 3 decent titles for a good price. And what I was doing is I was scanning them in to the CX and eBay app, and some of them were actually very overpriced in my opinion and according to the app's scanning readings that I was getting, but some of them weren't too bad, but we agreed a good price on them. I will tell you what that is when we get to it later in the video. Now, I wish I'd have picked some of these Pokeballs up. Hopefully these guys will be there next time I go. If you're interested in going to this, I believe you can pay £5 for early entry, gets you in at 11, or you can wait for the general entry for £1, gets you in an hour later at 12, and that's what we did. So super happy. It took about an hour and a half to walk around the whole thing. Got a nice 360 bundle there. Not looking for a 360 bundle, unfortunately, otherwise that would have been something I would have picked up. It wasn't there on the way back, so somebody must have snagged themselves a bargain. So I've still not purchased anything yet, and I didn't get anything from here either, but I just wanted to take some time to really check it out. Look at that mouse mat and mouse right there from episode 1. I think I'd pick it up as well. I just don't have a massive desire to add any Star Wars figures into my collections. I know a lot of you guys out there are well up for collecting some Star Wars goodness, and I always stop no matter where I am, who I'm with. If I'm seeing like an R2-D2 or a C-3PO or an Anakin Skywalker figure, calendar, mug, cup, anything, I'm there. I'm totally there. Now, Metroid Prime on the GameCube, I think this chap had it at £4. I own it, so I didn't bother. And then this right here was a bundle for 40, I believe. I think it was 40 quid. Again, I have all the games. I just wanted to have a look through just in case there's that secret hidden gem lurking. And then more towards the top, in the bag on the left, this, believe it or not, was 2 Xbox 360s. And then this was a PlayStation 1 bundle with a ton of games. You can see Alien Resurrection, LMA Manager, Destruction Derby 2. There was Dune in there, and he wanted 70 quid. I was like, what's in the fudge? I'm not paying 70 quid for that. But this was also a really good store, and you're about to see my first purchase. We've got some unboxed N64, Sega Megadrive, Super Famicom, we've got PlayStation 1, we've got PlayStation 2, we've got PlayStation 3, even Sega Game Gear. And then all of these down here were unboxed. So I was getting a little bit excited because I'm seeing manuals, and I love purchasing manuals. I saw this. Unfortunately, D had nothing in it. It was just literally the box, which is great if you have the game, but I don't have it. But nonetheless, I'm just kind of siphoning through here. I think this guy is there quite a bit. He had some stock that you wouldn't typically see, like I said, like manuals, and then these couple of World of Warcraft guides. Again, you don't see them around that often, and I've said it before, I am a sucker for a good game guide, and I just had to wrestle this box open just to make sure I wasn't missing anything, and unfortunately, it was empty. So as I said, about to make my first couple of purchases. In fact, I bought quite a few things from here. Arguably, I bought hundreds of things from here, and you'll see exactly what I mean in a split second. Now, just as I'm rifling through all of this, making sure that I haven't missed anything, that the Incredibles on the GBA doesn't have a game in it, I just decided that I was going to buy these World of Warcraft game guides. So we got our first bargain at 50p each, so a couple of nice game guides. And I think it was at this point that Jess shouted me over, and she's like, look, Jem, go and check this out. A bag and a box full of manuals and inlays for the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 3, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, and more. And guys, these were in immaculate condition, and he gave me all of them for £12.50. Now, I can hand on my heart say I'm going to get incredible use out of these, because I have hundreds and hundreds of empty, like just loose games, and I'm excited to see what I can make up. I think where you can kind of find these things, you know, just kind of go for it really. And then further down there was this kind of random store. We got a Sega Megadrive Model 2, some Xbox original controllers, this battered Super Nintendo controller, and this Sega Megadrive controller. Now I did get a nice bargain here. I'm just kind of having a look. Didn't need a PlayStation 1. Got a couple of Rumble packs, you know, just kind of odds and ends. He was a really nice guy, this guy. He said he's here all the time, he's going to bring some more stuff for me. And he actually gave me this Sega Mega Drive controller and this battered Super Nintendo controller for £1, so 50p for both of them. That takes the bargainometer up to 5. And I have decided, and I need your advice, I've decided that this Super Nintendo controller is so battered, I'm going to send it off to somebody to customize it with some of my channel art, just for my personal collection. So if you know any really, really good custom console makers, designers, whatever you want to call it, please let me know, or contact me, and I would love to work with you, or work with somebody that you know, that you trust, that can do a bang up job on this battered Super Nintendo controller. And moving on, we've got a TIE fighter right there with some random toys and more toys and some grass and some kids' clothes and blah. So we need to find more games. It literally is the only thing on my mind when I go to a car boot. And lo and behold, the green of the Xbox just flew into my vision and I didn't buy anything because, in my opinion, these games were overpriced. He wanted £2.50 each for the original Xbox games. I didn't even ask how much the Xbox 360 games were because I just don't need any, and I just thought, no way, I know I can get them cheaper. I didn't even want to haggle, I was just after like a quick bargain. It wasn't something that I overly really wanted, any of these. It was like £2.50 each, not a chance, and I think this is where you kind of see me just walk away. But we do get a last quick shot of the PlayStation and Nintendo DS games. So clocked this random PS1 console on a jewellery stall nonetheless, and I just had a quick scout to make sure that there wasn't anything else that I'd missed, and it literally was a jewellery stall, which is absolutely cool. Unfortunately, I don't need a PS1 because there were an abundance of PlayStation 1 consoles at this market. I think I have about 3 PS1 consoles, which is more than enough. Unless you guys can tell me something extra special, but nonetheless we're diving back into this random pile of DVDs and games. Some of the games were just like really mixed in, as you guys can see. Nothing of interest for my little lady lounge, or rather games room. And I just want to say at this point, guys, if you're new here, make sure you thump that subscribe button because I'm going to another car boot next weekend and I'm going to be putting out another video just like this to add to a mammoth playlist of retro game hunts in stores, markets, retro game markets, charity shops and car boots. Now, I wasn't in the market for a headset, but if I was, there were some damn good bargains here. There were quite a few of those stalls actually. And here we're about to get our next bargain. Ka-ching! 50 pence for Duke Nukem art book. I'm not quite sure what game it's from. I'm not even a huge Duke Nukem fan. I just wanted it. This is what I love about car boots. It's just finding these random little things that you think, yeah, you know what, this could be a fun little read. I'm going to take it for 50 pence. Now we're moving on. I remember this was a bit further towards the top of the car boot. Always take the time to look in boxes full of CDs and boxes full of DVDs to make sure there's nothing lurking. I am terrible for missing things at markets and car boots, and Jess tends to find it all, but we had some friends here so we kind of separated off a little bit and I had a whip around, and these boxes again, just kind of like scouring, having a look. Love me a bit of Green Day. Shout out to Green Day. In fact, have you seen them live? I've seen Green Day live about 3 times. I love, love, love Green Day. So we're about to hit a super cool stall, and it literally was one of the last stalls that we hit up before we head out. Molly just taking a look there. Bless her, she was so exhausted, but it's really great to take your dog out to the car boot. This is a dog friendly car boot. So I clocked, or rather Jess clocked, some decent PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 games, and I did pick up quite a few here. This is my 7th bargain. I think this was a couple of quid. In fact, all of the prices that you see on aren't reflective of what I paid. I did buy 5 in total. In fact, the bargainometer, the technology is going to fail us here because I actually lost count how many I purchased. I'm just adding the numbers as I see what I picked up. Now, like I said, I personally thought these were overpriced. Hence me just scanning them into CX and the eBay app just to see what I was willing to pay. Got the Prince of Persia trilogy over there. Got some really, really nice kind of Black Ops titles, LA Noire, you know, decent stuff. And then this kind of chick rocked up at the side of me. She was doing exactly the same, scanning stuff in, and she didn't buy anything. But the lady on this stall, she was super fun, super interesting, and really sweet. And we agreed on a price of 22 quid, and I bought, including this, I bought 5 games from her, arguably more, as there were 3 trilogies that I bought. So 3 of the games essentially turned out to be 9. So that is super, super cool. Star Wars Force Unleashed. I think that was priced in at $2.50. Yes, you can get it cheaper. But yeah, this was like a super, super cool day. I had a blast, and I am looking forward to going to more car boots and showing you guys exactly what bargains I picked up. So we're about to snag our final purchase, I believe. Ka-ching, there we go. But please leave a like and let me know what you found recently. I will be back on Wednesday for yet more gaming content, but this time we'll be back at home in the lady lounge, or rather my game room. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate the support. Gonna let it play out now. Take care, guys. See you in the next one.